Do you spend a lot of time trying to massage and stretch your upper traps because you have a lot of chronic neck tension? If you've ever had a whiplash injury, or you feel like your posture is a little slouchy, you might get some value from this. Now, I'm not going to deny that having your upper traps massaged feels really darn good, because it does. However, if you find that you spend a lot of time there and these symptoms of chronic tension keep coming back, it's not that your traps or your neck needs more massage or stretching. Something else is going on. And from a biomechanical perspective, oftentimes what that is, it's an indication that the deep neck stabilizers on the front of the spine are not fully pulling their weight to hold your head up under gravity, because gravity. Now, in the case of whiplash, the head comes forward and whips back at a really high rate of velocity. Oftentimes, all of the muscles that need to work together really well to hold your head up under the force of gravity, which is a constant physical stressor that we will experience every day, become less than stellar, and it can lead to a lot of fatigue. In the case of posture, in and of itself, isn't necessarily problematic because we have a lot of joints that allows us to make a very wide variety of shapes with our body. However, a lot of times what we'll do is we'll have just a very small amount of postures that we will make, and we'll kind of live in those very same postures, which can lead to fatigue, blood flow restrictions, and all of that equals discomfort or tension. A lot of us are like here, scrolling on those screens with our eyes down. The muscles on the back of the neck, of course your upper traps are there, there's a lot of other things, act like reins on a horse to keep your head up so your eyes can still see the level of the horizon instead of just always constantly looking at the ground or your handheld device. Now, if you got both of those things working together, meaning you have had a whiplash type injury at some point in your life and you tend to slouch a lot, I bet your neck feels really special. All right, at this point, you might be asking, all right, Neen, what can I do about this? And I'm glad you asked. So first things first, what I want you to do is to adopt a nice tall spine. You can do this seated or standing, pick your pleasure. Now, when I say a tall spine, I don't mean that you're like holding your spine really, really rigid. Don't muscle your way through this, but think tall and elongated and charged up. So we're not assuming the position like we always hang out in, but think of like a nice string off the top of your head, and you should feel nice and floaty. It should feel effortless. Now, what this is going to get you, it's going to get you length in the back of the neck, because we're always like this. So we want some length in the back of the neck, which gets your chin to tuck a little bit, and then you can be nice and broad and through the chest. Now, a la yearbook photos from the 90s, you're going to take a fist and put it underneath your chin with that nice energized spine. And very gently, this is very, very important, on a scale of 1 to 10, if 10 was be like out the gate, redline it, you're going to keep your effort at about a 2 to a 3. So it's just a little bit of juice. So that fist goes underneath your chin with your energized spine. 2 to 3 on an effort scale, you're going to press your chin into your fist, just like so. And what you'll feel, hopefully, is a little bit of activation deep in through here, and even a little bit more length happening very high up on the back of your neck. And it's just a gentle 2 to 3 effort out of 10, chin into your fist. Nothing crazy. We don't want to create neck pain. We don't want to trigger a headache. None of that. If you're going a little bit too hard at it, you just kind of feel stuff kind of kicking up a little bit, dial it back. So try that out. See if you can feel these deep neck stabilizers in the front kind of kick in just a little bit. And with practice and with consistency, they'll start working more regularly without you even having to practice or to think about them. It's just creating that connection with the brain and the body in that rehab process from old whiplash injuries. And it doesn't matter how long ago it was, it's a nervous system memory. This will also help with posture. It's one of many steps that I help with clients who are wanting to learn what better posture and alignment in their body is. So give that a try, and let's see what this does to help reduce some of your chronic neck and upper trap tension. Now, remember, it doesn't need to be complicated in order to be effective. As human beings, we so like to overcomplicate things, don't we? As I always say to my clients, small hinges move big doors. So this is one of those really easy, subtle things that we can do that can have profound and huge impacts in what we're feeling kind of in this area from a day-to-day basis. Now, it is just one of many ways to kind of gain some access and to create a better change and a better experience in this area. And we're going to get to some other ones later, one at a time, anywhere from jaw and eye and breathing. All of those things can have a huge impact in this chronic tension that we feel in our neck and in our shoulders. So I look forward to seeing what this does for you, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for hanging out. See you later.